welcome back. Or rather, should I say, I'm back. It's your girl, your favorite, the Tamagotchi that you lost in 6th grade that you found at 26. I've returned with the milk. What I really want to talk to you about is summer. Do you know how I know that summer's coming around the corner? It's not when I see bikini ads, it's more when I see the girls that say, I finally got that 6-pack I was working for all throughout my winter arc. And when I thought about that, I really thought, you need to buckle down. And then I think, well, how much can one even really buckle down in like a month? That's your problem. You end up asking yourself stupid things like, how much can one change in 1 month? That's what this whole thing is for, obviously, right? So I decided that I would be like all the other girls, take a page out of their book, and do a productive day in my life. As somebody who's like a certified procrastinator, I think it'd be really healthy for me and for everybody else to see what it will be like for a person who's generally speaking inefficient and unproductive to suddenly put on the productivity pants and do something with their life. And as everyone knows, we will indeed be doing the procrastinator staple and starting tomorrow. We're going to the gym. See you tomorrow. Alright, so I'm back. It's the next day and I am starving. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have breakfast first and then we are going to have a chat about time. I'm peeling your eggs for breakfast. Yes, we're having boiled eggs for breakfast. Don't at me about it. But I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna talk to you about time because this is a lot of manual labor. You realize that, right? Like for breakfast. So I wanted to talk to you about time because during my 6-month challenge, I kind of realized that I waste a lot of time. And I realized a couple things kind of about the nature of the challenge. So if you're doing like the 6-month challenge too, and maybe you feel like you're behind, I feel like you really shouldn't for this reason, and this reason alone. I had to do math. I actually did math with a calculator, so I know I'm not wrong about this. So I realized very quickly that the 6-month challenge is not particularly a 6-month challenge for everyone. Not everyone's time is the same. Do you know what I mean? The first thing I did was I found out how many days were in 6 months so that I can find out how many hours are in 6 months. The first thing I did actually was calculate 6 months and 24 hours in the 6 months, which is a bad calculation. That gives you about 4,368 hours. But it's incorrect because we should be asleep during 8 of those hours. So after that, I was left with 16 hours, which brought us down to 2,912 hours. That still sounds like quite a lot. But then after that, I realized I also had to take out my job. And this is what I mean when I say that not everyone's time is the same. So I work full-time, 35 hours, give or take, but I did the calculations for 30 hours. I also commute to my job 30 minutes back and forth, so that added on an extra hour. After only taking out the amount of time that I would be sleeping, that left me with 2,912 hours. But after I counted for my job, that left me with 1,950 hours from the jump. That is less than half of the time that I actually thought would be available originally. So I just decided for funsies to multiply it back by 24 just so I could see how many days I actually had, my actual working days that I had in this 6-month challenge. And it was only 81 days from the start, which is under 3 months, mind you, to start with. I'm really hungry. I told my coworker once that I liked my eggs hard boiled and he had a lot to say, but to be honest, if you haven't tried it with soy sauce, if you haven't tried it with this, don't come at me. Don't even talk to me about it. It's good. I also have this coconut water. Usually have this later on in the day. I'm gonna go to the gym and I figure that I should probably try and drink it so that I get properly hydrated and don't pass out. Anyway, time. What was I saying? Oh yeah. Basically what I'm just trying to tell you is that if you are a 9-to-5 worker, 6 months is different than somebody who's taking a sabbatical off of work. And it's also different than if you are a mom and you are doing a 6-month challenge. To be honest, I really think 6 months may not be enough time for a lot of different individuals. After I took my time off, my 6 months turned into more of a 4-month challenge, which is why I'm in the predicament that I am in right now. Currently, this productivity day in my life is really more about trying to get myself in alignment. Alignment has been kind of a key word that I've been like using over and over again. I feel like either I've watched too many of those like productivity girl channels or I'm onto something. All right, and I need you to come close when I tell you this. Like I need you to be close, okay? So look, I'm telling you right now that you are wasting your own time. Like you waste a lot of your own time. And by you, I mean me too. Like, so really what this time management episode is about is more about not learning how to not waste my own time. Because in an average day off, I have about 13 hours of free time, right? I told you about 16 hours. That's like cutting out the time that it takes me like to cook or eat, even to exercise. So I have like 13 hours of free time to do all of this other stuff. But like somehow at the end of the day, I don't have any time. All right, you can get away from me. Get away. That is either gonna work or it's not gonna work. But I will tell you about my solutions to not wasting your own time in a little bit, after breakfast, and maybe when we get to the gym. So, I made this checklist, a to-do list, a productivity to-do list. Yes, it's only 4 things long, but that's because each of these things is like several parts.
I'm a piece of garbage.
We're probably gonna end up doing more than that. This is just the bare minimum, guys. But I did this cute thing. Obviously, I did the cute little doodle, and there's a heart here. So as we, do the checklist and stuff, our heart will become full of productivity. I think I've outdone myself. Yeah, no problem. And of course, yes, it is scented. You may not be able to smell it, but I will give you the scent because I take this seriously. I take us and our productivity journey seriously. So, of course, it has to be scented. The first piece of advice I'd give to anyone that's having trouble managing their time is to not trust yourself. You should probably make a to-do list. Because clearly speaking, your instincts when it comes down to managing your own time are pretty garbo. Get in, losers. We're going to the gym. And that's nothing to be ashamed of. We all let time slip away from us. But during this 6-month challenge, as we've established, there needs to be a certain sense of urgency. And more importantly, you need a plan. So your to-do list is essentially going to be your plan of the day. The next thing that you're going to have to do is habit stack. This is from the great and profound book, Atomic Habits. I'm not sure if you heard of it. In the book, James Clear essentially says that you should be trying to do several habits at the same time. When you watch TV and you eat at the same time, you get a cue in your mind. So when you're watching TV, you feel like snacking. And when you snack, you feel like watching TV, right? These things kind of go vice versa and reinforce themselves. So you can do that with good habits as well. Something that I've been doing is that I've been doing Duolingo in my free time. I mean, every spare second. And after I did that, something that used to be very time consuming, something that would take up pretty much the entire end of my day, especially on my days off because I totally forget about it, it would be something that I would finish without even thinking. Another unsuspecting productivity boost that I would give you is to have a grocery list. You should be keeping tabs on your groceries and your household supplies all throughout the week so that when you go to the grocery store, you can just pick up everything at once. Or if you can't pick up everything at once, at least decide when you're gonna come back and prioritize so that you're not surprised. Here's a personal example from my own life of this exact concept. One day, I got a pair of brand new falsies. And I really wanted to try them out before I went to work because I panic, you know? I was gonna do a thing for you guys. I was gonna put my eyelashes on and we were gonna see how it goes, if it goes good or bad, but I did not buy any glue. But I already had glue from a while ago, but as soon as I tried to unscrew it, it was stuck.
Bro, is this dry? Is this glue dry? It's just one large goopy mess. Oh my god, look at it. Looks like cottage cheese. Dude, so basically this is unusual.
I managed to pry it open, and once I took it out, all the glue kind of came out in one chunk. It was completely unusable. I didn't take this advice seriously, especially up until now, because it doesn't take very long to get to Target. But it's a 6-minute drive there, 6-minute drive back, and that's not even accounting for us going inside of the store. What should have been a initial 6-minute trip that was all done in one shot turns into probably something closer to 20 minutes of time down the toilet, and we don't have the time to be wasting time. And we're back from the gym, back at home. I'm gonna take a quick shower and do a costume change. Okay, this is the fit, this is the look. I'm also wearing a skirt on. Okay, so currently it's like 1:30. I got home at 11:30, and that means I spent 2 hours showering and getting ready. Not very efficient. I do think one thing that is good for you to do if you are struggling with time efficiency like I am is to track your time. At least track the time that it takes you to do something so that you have at least a good idea of how long it takes for you to do something. One of the things that we have to do, we have to go to Starbucks today because I have to tell you a secret plan that I have been cooking up as part of like the finance part of my 6-month journey, because as we all know, that has been going awful. But before that, I realized that I actually have to cook lunch. So we are actually gonna cook lunch. We're gonna switch things around, but as long as we do the things that we said that we were gonna do, it's still productive, is it not? Right? Right. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give myself an hour. Starbucks closes at like 7:30, but I don't wanna be there at 7:30 or really even 5:30. I wanna go maybe at like 3 or something. So I'm aiming to have this portion of the video done by then. We will see how it goes. While she's sitting there doing what needs to be done and time is ticking away, by the way, I think she is running a little late, but we are going to get there. And in the meantime, we are going to continue being productive by self-promoting ourselves. I have a TikTok channel and I have a YouTube channel, obviously. I also post on Instagram as well. I'm trying to grow all 3 platforms as part of my 6-month challenge, so I would be greatly appreciative if you would go take a peek. I would say that the TikTok and the short form content is a lot more stylish, if you put it. I say you get all the mess on here on the YouTube channel, but on my TikTok and things like that, I like to do it up. I like it to be special with all the flashy effects and stuff like that. We have no sponsorships yet. It is in the near future. And basically say that if you are enjoying this video right now, I suggest you give a like and subscribe. Okay, self-promotion over, self-plug officially done. Now, we'll get back to our official programming. Hey, I appreciate all of the promoting that you're doing for our channel, but could you please like actually help? You're totally running out of time here. I guess she wants some help. Fine. So I actually went to Barnes & Noble's because I had some emergency shopping to do. I said that I was going to talk to you about this secret plan of mine. But in reality, I actually need something to write it down in, and preferably something cute and something pink. So I was on the hunt. But first, obviously I had to look around. So conveniently enough, there are actually Starbucks inside of Barnes & Noble's where I bought this book. Isn't this so cute? So on to explaining my secret mission and why I'm here. Okay, so I've been doing really poorly in terms of my finances. I'm still working at the same place that I said that I wanted to quit, and I hate working there. Every day I go in, I kind of want to pull my hair out, but I still go in there every day because I need money. First and foremost, the 6-month challenge has taught me that you need to make decisions if you want to change your life. It's not something that you can kind of it's not something you can kind of half-ass, if I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. You can't just decide to keep working at your job and get promoted while also becoming financially free and doing your own thing and stuff like that. These are two completely separate concepts. So when it comes down to this, the people who are the most successful not only fail faster, but they also make the most decisions. They are the most concrete and decisive in their actions. And I need to emulate that. You know, if you keep thinking, I might get success here, I might get success there, all you're going to get in life is maybes. And so I've decided that I am going to become an influencer. Being an influencer is still something that is very much so at war in my little rabbit brain. I still kind of think of myself a little bit as a loser. So I end up thinking losers don't become influencers. But my second, not option, but my second part of the plan is to start writing books, because something that I can do very easily and very quickly is write. I'm not going to say I'm Shakespeare or anything, but I think that my writing is bad. And on top of that, I think I am actually very passionate about it. And most importantly, it's something that I can kind of do passively. So I've got a whole idea in my head, and I'm here actually to, write down in this journal. This journal will contain all the notes and stuff for, Snotty Pop's YouTube channel, but it will also contain this novel as well, because I plan on making the novel, getting actually published on Amazon, and becoming a bestseller. And hopefully I can make that happen. So yeah, so you're just gonna be watching me work on it. And I also, because this is a productivity video, I brought this. This is a book. I am halfway through it, but in reality I should be way more than halfway through it. So instead of being on my phone and wasting time, I'm going to be reading this book. My boyfriend kindly brought me over some food for my break. But let me tell you this. So I decided to become an influencer, and probably a week ago I seriously went about trying to do so. And I might have shot out some emails, and I might have gotten a reply back that I was part of an ambassadorship. But the plot thickens, as it always does. To be honest, I feel I don't necessarily want beef, but if they are a scam company, this is their name. and they were like looking for ambassadors, you know, suckers like me. So the deal was they sponsor me as a micro influencer, and I give them shout outs, and I, you know, kind of represent how great of a brand they are and how pretty their jewelry is and how versatile it is and all that stuff, right? But the only thing is that I would have to pay shipping. So it's been 2 weeks since I paid $10 for my shipping, and when I looked at my USPS tracking number, it's still currently located in Las Vegas, and I very quickly realized that I probably wasn't going to get my jewelry. These things happen. Things happen when you try, when you step out of your box. Like, I was very trusting because I wanted it to work. I really did. I thought, oh my God, this is so easy. Lucky girl syndrome. The universe is responding to my messages, you know. And I was really gung-ho about it without really thinking too deeply about whether or not it could be a scam. But next time I will be far more diligent. I will actually look up the name, look up whether or not it's a scam, and not embarrass myself. Hello guys, it is the next day. I know, that was like kind of a jump, right? So like I totally did everything. I totally finished the list, and I feel like it was a very productive day yesterday. As you can see, we managed to fill up the heart all the way. You're very productive yesterday. However, I underestimated how tiresome it would be to be actually productive. Like those productivity girlies, I don't know what demons they're battling, but it was difficult to try being them for a day. Oh, let me show you. Look at how much we wrote yesterday. Did it go on to the next page? No. But we totally wrote all this in like 1 hour. Oh my gosh. I think I maybe got like 2 or 3 chapters in, but I think the progress is going very well. So I'm very happy with that. Oh, by the way, we are doing a facial, the Aztec clay facial. I've had this in my like drawer for a while. Well, kind of we're like in last minute productivity mode, if I'm gonna be completely honest. And part of that is like my skin. I'm kind of trying to do the habit stacking thing that I talked about earlier. So right now I'm following the skincare diet, and I'm also trying to take care of my face with like different masks and like serums and stuff like that. Have you ever seen like those people with like glass skin? Like it's like if you touch it, your hand will be propelled away. That's how bouncy their skin is. Like that's the kind of skin that I want. And we're gonna be preparing it while I kind of just discuss what I learned, I guess, because I do feel like yesterday was a learning experience. The first thing I learned is that changing your life is actually really freaking chaotic. I don't know. Like it feels like as soon as I set the intention for the day to like, I'm going to do something productive, I'm going to do things that will actually help me and stuff, the day became so freaking chaotic. I know that my camera actually died at the gym, so I didn't really get to record like everything, but let me talk to you about this. So aside from my pants being inside out and me discovering that midway through my exercise, and a personal trainer actually seeing me discover this in real time and laughing at me. So first, I actually ended up getting talked to by like this old guy. You know, like the guy had to be at least 68 or something like that. It's very specific, but like he was an old guy. And he was like, oh, are you filming? And then I have like a mini panic attack, and I want to say like, no, I wasn't filming. You know, you just kind of want to lie. But I said, yeah, I am filming because, you know, you can see my fat tripod and my obvious camera. So why lie about it? So I was like, okay, yeah, I am filming. So yes. And he was like, oh, that's really cool, you know? And I was like, that's so nice. That's like way more positive than like I imagined was gonna happen. What happened after that is like I turned back around to get my stuff because like I went to go get like some water, then I was coming back and that interaction happened, and by the time I turned around I saw like all the guys in the gym that were like kind of near my stuff. They were all kind of like looking at me like, and I have no idea if they were like giving me the side eye trying to see if I would blow up on this old guy, or if they were like worried about me and just trying to be the gym bros about it. I don't know. And then I showed you guys the freaking weird ghost water fountain. Yes, I did drink the water out of the ghost water fountain. Dude, so I go back into my locker room and like I'm kind of putting my stuff away and I'm like, am I hearing like men? Like, do I hear like a dude's voice? Like, I know that sounds like so femcel of me, but like that's not really what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm in the women's locker room and like I'm hearing like a deep voice and I'm like, okay, this is odd. And I'm kind of looking around, looking at the TV, I'm like, what's going on? But then, dude, someone is getting carried out on a stretcher by like 2 EMTs. That is not fortunate, of course. Like, it was just like weird. It like all happened in one day. I've never had a day like that at the gym, ever. Water. Like, is it supposed to be this? So it says equal parts water and clay. I should have probably looked at like a tutorial before I did this, but I thought, why would you need to look at a tutorial on how to use a mask? Like, it's looking pretty clay-like, but there's all this like extra moisture and that is worrisome. Whatever, I'm just gonna rock with it, yeah. But in any case, literally what I take this as is I feel like heaven and earth literally moved because I decided to do something with intention for like once in my life. All this weird stuff ended up happening. Good and bad stuff. I don't know, it's just like a weird and kind of chaotic day. And I feel like I'm taking this as like the universe saying something to me. Bro. Oh, supposed to be a rewarding face mask for all of our hard work. And it's going weird. I mean, I guess as long as I figure it out before it dries, it should be okay, right? Dude, I feel like I'm putting face paint on. What I'm trying to say to you is that doing things with intention is not only rewarding, but it seems to have pretty immediate consequences. You know, I got so much more done than what I like originally kind of thought that I would. I finished writing my thing, I went home and I went to bed. I even got like some of my TikToks done. I was like, wow, it can be done. Anyway, well, I'm gonna let this sit and tighten on my face until I grow, I don't know, a new beautiful face or something like that. I think that's how it works. I hope you enjoyed this video. I plan on making more frequent ones in the future, preferably kind of doing still the same like goofy stuff I was doing before, but actually focusing on the 6-month challenge because I have like a month left or like a month and a half, and I really actually want to take you guys through the actual month of progress. Until then, see you next time.